Welcome to part 20 of my Let's Play of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Last time, we destroyed a bunch of towers and we defeated the Egg Cerberus again. So this time, we need to get to Kingdom Valley. Because that is Gun's rendezvous point. Which never explained why, and nor did Gun ever bother showing up. And why does this girl look like someone out of Pokemon? But anyway, in order to get there, we need to get into the Soliana Forest. To which the gate is open, nobody is guarding it, we don't have to do any guess who the captain is. We don't have to get a pass from Lord Regis or anything like that, we can just get straight into the Soliana Forest. And now we can do something that is really annoying. And I mean it is really annoying. And it's not because of Shadow's story. It's because of Sonic and Silver's story. But first, we need to get the Lightspeed Dash. Because again, Shadow doesn't have it. So we grab this, and we can use the Lightspeed Dash. We also have the Blue Memory Shard, which is Chaos Boost 1. You may notice that Shadow's action gauge is actually empty. Shadow is the one that makes proper use of the things that come out of the enemies when you destroy them. I mean, we have these weird construction workers here. Why don't you just build the bridge? But, yeah, so we need to get into Kingdom Valley, and to do that we need to do something incredibly simple, because Shadow doesn't have any Trials of Soliana. He doesn't have any. So how does Shadow get into Kingdom Valley? Well, you still have to rather horribly make your way across this hub world again and try and find your way out of that tree section. It's surprisingly difficult to do. And what you need to do is, once you can either defeat all the enemies, there's none here, so we need to fill the gauge up. Press R1 and you can activate Shadow's Chaos Powers. That will break down this wall. I don't know if it breaks down this wall, no, there's an invisible wall there. Go through the wall, follow, and we're instantly at Kingdom Valley. So clearly, we don't need to do any Trials of Soliana, but for some reason Sonic and Silver do. That is really annoying. Shadow has 3 Chaos Powers. We only have access to a couple of them at the moment. So when you press R1, Shadow will glow red, and it is then that you can use Chaos Snap, which only ever works when it wants to. But before we get to that, Hang Glider! Like the buggy, this thing is armed with missiles, although I would like to point out that at least for normal mode, okay, at least for normal mode, Shadow's Hang Glider sections of both Kingdom Valley and Wave Ocean, you can actually complete by doing absolutely nothing. You don't have to do a single thing. You do for Crisis City, but not for Wave Ocean or Kingdom Valley. You do for the other versions of it, but for normal mode, you don't have to do anything. If you double tap the X button, this applies to all of Shadow's vehicles, except for the hovercraft. You can get a little speed boost temporarily. The hovercraft does something different. It sort of makes the hovercraft jump. I'm not going to be doing that, and we're going to be using the hovercraft later on in this stage. But yeah, the Chaos Snap, it pretty much allows Shadow to automatically sort of teleport from enemy to enemy. And then it'll sort of hover in the air for as long as you want until you press the button again. I can never work out what it is you're supposed to do. And it always throws me off like nothing else. And it only ever works when it wants to. There'll be plenty of times where there's enemies everywhere and Shadow won't do anything. He won't behave any differently. But we'll get more into that when we can. Because for now, we need to search for 3 keys in order to gain access to the next part of the stage. Sound familiar? Yeah, well, guess what? There's no radar this time. Or hints, there's no Tikal, there's no Omochow, there's no monitors. And there's no radar at all. You know, radar was great in Adventure 1. Horribly butchered by him for the purpose of padding in Sonic Adventure 2, where it can only detect one object at a time. But at the very least you had a radar. We don't have that here. Thankfully, unlike those games, okay, I thought he was going to die there. The keys are always in the same location. They will change depending on whether or not you're in normal or hard mode. Rouge. Rouge. Let go, Rouge. Let go, Rouge. This is the problem that everyone has with Knuckles and Rouge. They won't freaking let go. Thank you. By means of glitching, I managed to get off. But yeah, the keys are always in a set location. It's just that the location will vary depending on whether or not you're doing this in normal mode or hard mode. I think I'm going in the wrong direction at the moment. I am. These are for silver medals. So yeah, they will be in different places in normal mode. They'll be in different places again in very hard mode. And you're going to be doing it a lot in very hard mode. And yeah, Rouge still has the first person thing. You can never really be sure where she's going to aim the bombs, which is the annoying part. And she can also attach bombs to walls, as we saw in White Acropolis, and is what we need to do here. So we need to place these bombs. They have pretty large explosions, so you don't need to be right next to the robots. Oh, now she doesn't want to get on the wall. I think the reason why they don't get off of the wall is because, you know, when we see it, they're jumping upwards. And that of course means that they're pretty much just landing on the wall the moment they actually jump. And that's why we struggle to get off the wall sometimes. It's just the way it's programmed. And by that I mean it's programmed horribly. Right, can I destroy this guy? Can I destroy this guy? There we go. And sometimes Rouge does that. I never had that happen with Knuckles. But Rouge just likes to do this weird jump where she just jumps straight up. I don't know why she does that. I only ever have it happen with Rouge, and it's very annoying when it does happen. It doesn't really... See, she does it. She did it again there. I don't know what causes her to do that. I was going to say, surely... And again! Rouge, stop doing that! Why do you do that, Rouge? Oh, one of them hit him. There we go. You can defeat enemies pretty quickly with Rouge, sometimes. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. Anyway, thankfully we only need to destroy this guy. And that is all of the medals, and it's now time for the most infamous part of Shadow's Kingdom Valley, the hovercraft section. So, let me just go through everything here. Hold X! Don't let go of X, otherwise you will just nosedive right into the wall, sir. Now the main problem here is the camera. The hovercraft controls very loosely, it's quite slippery. Not as bad as the motorbike, but it is pretty slippery. You can double tap the X button to jump. Don't do that, because it will throw you off like nothing else. And you can press the R1 button to use a machine gun. Now the problem is these towers, they will collapse the moment anything hits them, and that will include enemy projectiles. And again, where are the splashes? And a lot of the time it'll be where you can't freaking see it. And if these things land right on the hovercraft, you may get lucky, it may only just take a most of your health. That has happened, where it's only taken away most of my health. Now what you can do is you can just stop here. What you want to do is you want to go through this tunnel here. It is possible to just go over to where that spring is, and you can just press the triangle button. Shadow will stand on top of the hovercraft, and you can jump and homing attack into the spring. Whichever suits you best. I always say there's a roulette table in there. But most of the time when the towers land onto the hovercraft, the thing is just going to be destroyed, and you're going to fall into the... You're just going to fall into the water, and you will die. Well, thankfully that is the end of that section of Kingdom Valley. Kingdom Valley is still quite a lengthy level. It's lengthy for every character, but it's not so bad for Shadow. It's roughly the same amount of time it will take for Sonic. Of course, I can never be sure how long it takes me for Sonic because I'm always using the red gem. One thing that can be annoying though is, I mean, again, I don't use them very often, but when you want to use Shadow's Chaos powers, when you access the next part of the stage, the action gauge will be completely empty again. In order to use Shadow's Chaos powers, you do need to have the gauge completely full for some reason. You can't just do it when it's partially full. It needs to be completely full. And what we need to do is we need to homing attack the egg gunners into the tower. And then, yeah, there will be times where the game will require you to use the air dash. By the way, this Shadow doesn't always jump from wall to wall. Sometimes he has a lot more springs than Sonic does. But unlike Sonic, he doesn't have the animation, the spinning animation. So it's like Sonic in the max speed section. He goes into them head first, and once again, most of the time they're not even touching the wall. Shadow goes in quite a few different directions than Sonic and Silver do in Kingdom Valley. It's pretty cool. I mean, we've been through all this before. We were here with Sonic. This is where I keep using the purple gem to get over everything. Which sadly I can't do the first time around. But thankfully we don't have the light speed. We don't have to do the light speed dash. But even then, it's not so bad because Shadow doesn't have the bounce attack like in Sonic Adventure 2. I don't know why Shadow never gets it. One thing he does have though is if you press the square button when you're jumping, you can perform the. I'm not sure what these things are called. If it's like the Chaos Lance, Chaos Spear, I'm not sure what you call them. Whoop, that's backwards. Shadow will stun enemies. As with Silver's Shock Bracelet, well, any of Silver's psychic attacks, if an enemy has any sort of shield, you know, like the Iblis Golems and the Titans and the giant Eggman mechs that shoot their arms, it won't work immediately on them, so you will still have to wait, but you can stun all the other enemies. Again, I barely use it. I don't really have that much use for it, really, because it just slows Shadow down. But every single time he does it, Shadow will very slightly move in the air. So, although it's the slowest method of travelling ever, you can potentially just continually do Chaos Spears, and you can fly in the air. You're pretty much required to do that to get at least one of the silver medals in Crisis City, which I always found odd. You can just do it continuously. It's like pretty much Shadow's method of flying, and that's what it does. It stuns the enemies. But see, Shadow will do a little bit of movement. He is constantly going downwards, but if you're high enough, you can fly over a large part of the stage. You just won't be flying very fast. Oh, there goes the S rank. This is one of those stages where you pretty much have to do a no damage run. There are your shields. Is that it? Oh, no. Maybe the next tower then. We are nearing the end of Kingdom Valley for Shadow. Now these things do still crumble! And I was too slow. But there definitely goes the S rank. Ugh. I wasn't expecting that thing to crumble so fast. I swear they haven't crumbled that fast before. I don't know. I guess it's because with Sonic I always use the... with Sonic I'm always using the red gem when I get to those things. And for Silver I'm always fixing them. So... turns out they do fall pretty quickly, so you have to use your homing attack, which does have a slightly bigger range than it does for Sonic. I think. Oh! Hey there, buddy. Give us a kiss. But yeah, I think this is one of those stages where you pretty much have to do a no damage run, if you're planning on getting anywhere. Shadow can grind, unlike Silver, most of the time. So, Shadow. Other way, Shadow. Thank you, Shadow. Oh, maybe it wasn't. No, that is the right way. No, it wasn't! I went backwards. This thing is going to be broken now, isn't it? Oh, it's just that one section that breaks. No, it's not! Ah! It's supposed to be the hang gliders. Not that. It's supposed to be the hovercraft section that's the worst part of the stage, not this. I'll get there eventually. And another thing, Shadow never goes through the hub worlds quite as much as the other characters do. Because he actually... well, we go through 3 levels here with no hub world. Because the moment we finish this, we have Crisis City, and then the moment we finish that, we have Flamethrower. So Shadow doesn't go through the hub worlds quite as much as the other characters do. Still does, but not as much as the other characters. Right, now let's try this again. This time I'm not going to jump off of the rail. If that's what you call this thing. let's just stay on it. If you say so, Shadow. Although gun themselves never do show up. So maybe they're lying to us. Gunner secretly working with Eggman. I don't know. But yeah. I think this is one of those stages where you have to do a no damage run to get the S rank, or at least close enough to it. So obviously I failed. I don't know why the spring is here. What was the point of that? Pointless spring. There's no reason to be there. I guess it's just supposed to be it's a trap. It's like the Eggman springs that we see in Sonic Unleashed. Correction, you don't have to do a no damage run.
Guess that was all right.
Because if I had enough enemy bonus there, I would have gotten that S rank. But sadly, I died several times. I can't die too many times because I only have so many lives at this point. I'm leaving all those deaths in because, well, I feel it's good to showcase all the problems that this game does have, besides all the good things. But it is now time to meet the main villain of Shadow's story, who is technically the main villain of the game. We've seen one half of Solaris, time to meet the other half. Well, technically we have already met him.
The former king of Soliana used to reside in this castle, but a major accident occurred 10 years ago, and no one's lived there since.
Accident?
I heard a prototype energy engine failed, which caused the accident. I think the name of the plan was...
The Solaris Project. It was an ambitious project, named after their eternal sun god.
Doctor?
It's been a while, my dear Rouge. And of course, Shadow. Now, if you'd be so kind as to hand back the Scepter of Darkness you took from me.
Shadow!
It's no use! Pull back! Pull back! Pull back!
What? His shadow.
Oh, how ironic fate can be. I would never have believed I would be resurrected through your shade. I thank you, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Who are you? And how do you know my name?
I'm Mephiles. Mephiles the Dark. What? Did you forget me? I owe much to you, Shadow. Oh, yes. What you gave to me, I now return to you. A one-way ticket to oblivion.
What is this place?
It seems we've been teleported to another location.
Well, let's find out where we are.
Mephiles?
would that run?
Who is he?
I thought my TV went into black and white for a moment there. Well, the colour's still went weird there.
I've pinpointed our location. It's... No, that's not possible. We're still in the doctor's base. But how can that be? Wait, there's no doubt now.
So it's not where we are? It appears we've gone through time, doesn't it?
Yes, approximately 200 years. Maybe more, depending on when this database was last updated. Well, at least we know we've arrived in the future. That means this Mephiles character has the power to control time.
His power feels very similar to my own chaos control. But...
Boy, do I feel dizzy. Where are we?
Oh, look who's here. I didn't expect to see you guys.
Rouge! Shadow!
Hi, long time no see.
This is the distant future, far removed from our own timeline.
The future? Then that means Eggman's machine can control time!
No.
Eggman's got some nerve dropping us here.
Now, how can we get back to our own time?
You need a space-time rift, but this requires a lot of energy. I see. You mean using your chaos
Shut
control
up, dog.
will... Yes, but that alone is insufficient. Okay, Shadow. It looks like we need to work together.